Still around with the windows down, whipping on these niggas. I'm a we on high ground, can't see none of these niggas. Watch us
smoking with the windows down, just like this nigga straight chillin' as I'm sipping crown. I'm in the Riga with the tags that's from out of state. I've been booming since.
Hey, Shalom Makiam, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. I want to send double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Those are the apostles and elders that are up in New York, man. They came out, they've been preaching this word for a few decades now, and this word has been going out, man. So double honors to them, as the scriptures say. I want to send peace and salutations and love to all the Akim out there pushing the word in sincerity and truth, the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai. For those men, man. Love y'all brothers. This is the brother Ariala. This is a quick update. As you saw, man, it's going down in some type of way over in Syria, where the United States, on Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th of 2018, they went ahead and shot over 100 Tomahawk missiles. The UK and France shot missiles on different sites in Damascus, man, just outside of Damascus, at so-called chemical plants that they believe were being used by Assad to create chemical weapons. Now, we all know this is a front. Brothers have been going over this for a number of years now. That really is just all to complete prophecy, but you know, the lies and the deception that the West uses in order to justify their wickedness, it has no bounds. What I want to talk about is the strike itself and the implications of it as far as prophecy concerning the book of Ezekiel 38, where the scripture says that Gog and Magog is going to be a guard unto these nations, and basically they're going to be the kind of the leading faction against the United States, the West, the Babylon the Great. Okay, this beast system. Now, when you look at military might and strength, United States, when the scriptures talk about who shall make war with him, you know, who's going to be able to make war with this beast, you know, we pull this in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 4th verse. The scripture says, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. You know, this is that old Roman system that you know, this is that renewed, revived Roman system of America. And we can go, you know, tit for tat into all the political, economic, social ways that this is that new Rome all over again. But when you read here, it says that they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Now, when you look at the United States, along with the UK, along with France, this whole NATO, you know, united system, people say, man, who can make war with them, man? And when you look at just Babylon the Great by itself, when you look at America by itself, they have immense military strength. Now, for the sake of the conversation, I want to go into this website. It's called globalfirepower.com. It says comparison results of world military strengths. And right now I have the United States versus Russia pulled up. You know, and their rank is 1 and 2. Just a quick note. Look at the defense budget. You got 647 billion versus 47 billion. You know, but look at the debt rate. Look at the debt. It's crazy. I wanted to just hinge on the air because, you know, you got the U.S. is known as, it is also called the eagle in the scriptures, man. That's always been the emblem of Rome. That's the emblem of the United States, proof that this is Rome. And, you know, the eagle is known for its ability to strike from ridiculously high and distant altitudes, man. The eagle is known for its good sight, its keen sight, and its ability to fly over the top of all the other birds. Now, America, in like fashion, has the #1 air force in the planet. And look at just total aircraft. Total aircraft. You got 13,362 for the United States and 3,914 with Russia. You know what I'm saying? With the fighters, interceptors. Look at that. 1962 versus 818. Attack aircraft. 2,800 versus 1,400. As far as transports, look at helicopters. You know, attack helicopters. So you know, the U.S. has a keen airstrike capabilities, whether it be from their Navy cruise missiles that's coming off their ships, or actual airplanes firing in missiles from long range, man. So over the decades, Russia has been developing air defense systems. They've been bolstering up their ability to stop that eagle, man. So they have systems called the S-400 systems, the S-300 systems, and they now have in development what's called the S-500 systems. And they have given these air defense systems to their allies. They got contracts to give it to Saudi Arabia, to Turkey, but chiefly Syria, Iran, China. You know, they have these systems to prevent such devastating air attack from the United States. And these airstrikes that went on yesterday, on Friday the 13th, was a good example of the capability, because Russia is the bear. Now, you know, they got the land attack. Look at this tank strength, 5,800 from the U.S., but look how many tanks Russia got, man. You know, now the U.S. makes of it with armored fighting vehicles, nonetheless, but you still got a bigger number here. You know, they have the ground game, so to speak. So you got Russia as the bear and the U.S. as the eagle, and we're gonna see how they're gonna come together. Now, this is what the scripture says. This is what I want to hear in Jeremiah 49 and 15. It says, "For lo, I will make thee small amongst the heathen." All right, let's start at 14. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart. O thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Okay, Caucasians. That's what the word Caucasian means, cave dweller. All right, it says, Thou holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. And who is Edom? Edom is you so-called white people. You modern day, you average Joe Blow in general, you so-called white people are the Edomites, man. Okay? And you exalt yourself as the eagle, but the Most High is going to set a course of actions for you to be brought down. Okay? Now, skipping ahead over to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. When you get to the 7th verse, it says, Be thou prepared and prepare thyself. When we've read this scripture so many times. We know we're talking about Gog and Magog and the host of nations that's going to be allied with him. We talk about Iran all the time. Okay, and we mention Turkey, and then we talk about how even might have Germany, Spain, you know, and these other European nations switch and go over through the Spirit. We know that's going to happen. Okay, France, you know, them too. Watch this. It's in verse 7. It says, Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, when you look this word guard here in the Hebrew, the word here is mashamar, meaning to watch, man, to be on your guard, to be on your watch. And that Russia has these S-300 and S-400 systems to be a guard unto all these nations, man, against this eagle, man, against these air attacks and these missiles attacks from the west, from the United States, man. You know? Now, when you read I've got a few articles here to show you what I mean. This right here is from today on Zero Hedge. It says, Syria claims it intercepted 71 out of 103 cruise missiles. Pentagon denies it. You know, it says, as U.S. politicians and foreign leaders from Israel to Canada applauded the U.S.-led strikes in Syria, reports emerged Saturday that the attack was far less effective than the Pentagon has claimed, because you can also read articles talking about mission accomplished. Cause here's another article right here. It says we successfully hit every target. Highlights from Pentagon press briefing on Syria airstrikes. It says on Saturday morning, Pentagon spokesman Dana White and Marine Lieutenant General Kenneth McKenzie held a press conference updating the public on the key overnight developments in Syria. Here are the highlights. It says White said the operation does not represent a change in U.S. policy or an attempt to dispose the Syrian regime. It says we took action, and what happens next is the decision of Assad. We successfully hit every target. Last night's strikes were precise, overwhelming, and effective. The strike overwhelmed the Syrian air defense system. This is what the United States is claiming, man. But as we know, man, as you read in the book of Isaiah, that this man's skirt is being lifted up. He's being exposed as a fraud, man. You know, his terribleness has deceived him. Okay? His terribleness has deceived him, man. And the pride in his heart is going to fail, man. Because apparently when you read this article, it says the U.S. target list included the following. You know what? Let me start up. It says, according to the Russian Defense Ministry, most of the missiles launched by the U.S., UK, and France have been intercepted by Syria's air defenses, employing Soviet-made S-125 and S-200 air defense systems. And see, these ain't even the best systems, man. Those are like the backup systems, man. Mobile, you can move them around the city how you need to. Okay, it says Syria reportedly shot down 71 of the 103 cruise missiles. These included 12 cruise missiles which had been headed towards the Demir military airfield, which was completely spared thanks to the Syrian counterstrike. It says the U.S. target list included the following. 4 missiles were launched targeting the area of Damascus International Airport. All these missiles were intercepted. 12 missiles were launched targeting the Al-Damir military airport. All these missiles were intercepted. You see how Russia, when they come out with information, is way more detailed? The U.S. be like, yeah, we hit them niggas, man. Yeah, we won. Yeah, y'all got chemical weapons. Don't show no evidence. Don't bring out and you know Esau love paperwork. What a paperwork? But Russia giving you the list of what's going down. He said 18 missiles was launched targeting the Belay military airport. All these missiles were intercepted. 12 were launched at the Shariarat military airport. All of those was intercepted. 9 were launched at the Meza military airport. 5 of them were intercepted, so 4 got through. 16 were launched targeting Homs military airports. 13 were intercepted, so 3 of those got through. Okay, and then it says 30 missiles were launched targeting targets in the area of Barzar and Jeremani. 7 missiles were intercepted, so they really didn't have the systems over there to protect this area, and 23 missiles had got through over there. And it seems like they didn't hit none of the airports, so this was kind of just like an offshoot section that got hit. They was mainly trying to protect the airports and the heavy, equipment probably that they have there. It says a spokesman for the Russian general staff confirmed that no Russian defense systems were used to repel the attack. So, adding that Russia had declined to supply Syria with more advanced weapons, a decision it said it would reconsider. Okay, you see that? So they got more advanced systems, and now they making Russia want to be a heavier guard unto them. Okay, it says the Syrian air defense system has been conducting an anti-air fight, a spokesperson of the Russian Ministry of Defense said. Furthermore, it confirmed that the Syrian military repelled the attack using weapons manufactured in the USSR more than 30 years ago. The MOD added that while the facilities in the area of Barzah and Jeremani were partially destroyed, these facilities had been for a long time abandoned and had not been involved in production of chemical weapons, in contrary to the claims of the U.S.-led coalition. All right. So after this all happened, the U.S. is doing backflips, talking about what they doing, Meanwhile, Bashar al-Assad and them, they trying to show and prove that, look, we good over here. We good over here.
Hours after the US, Britain and France launched strikes against Syria, the Syrian presidency published a video showing President Bashar al-Assad arriving at work.
See shit, bro. Shit, he rolling and strolling in. Look at him, man. Look, he shit. Like, walk it like I talk. Walk it like I talk. Walk it like I talk. Walk it like I talk.
Gathered along the streets of Damascus.
They chilling, bro. So there's got to be the U.S. is going to have to come harder. Basically, this is like, hey, y'all going to have to come harder, man. Y'all ain't going hard enough yet. All right. And so these are baby steps. Now, we talked about how previously you haven't seen such powerful nations come head up. The U.S. is used to being able to shoot Tomahawk missiles on Iraq, Tomahawk missiles on Afghanistan, going into these little podunk areas and using their advanced technology to just basically run over the place, man. Well, now you going against bigger nations that are more advanced. So this is why we understand we are creeping into a world war.
It's known as the Tomahawk missile, the workhorse long-range cruise missile in the U.S. arsenal. The Tomahawk has a range of about 1,600 kilometers and can be launched from a ship or a submarine. It typically carries a 450-kilo bomb or 166 smaller bombs. The results can be devastating. The Tomahawk entered service in 1991 during the first U.S. war in Iraq. Since then, it has been used more than 2,000 times in combat. The Tomahawk uses GPS and what's known as TERCOM, terrain contour mapping. It uses that to track its target. It can fly very low under enemy radar and can be rerouted mid-flight to a new target. To thwart the Tomahawk, the Russian military may turn to the S-400 Triumph, a truck-based surface-to-air missile system designed to take down airplanes, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones. S-400s were deployed to Syria after Turkey shot down a Russian fighter in 2015. The system has a range of about 400 kilometers. Several vehicles make up the S-400 system. The long-range surveillance radar can track hundreds of potential targets at once. A separate radar vehicle hones in on the individual target, and then the launch vehicle launches a small missile in the air at the incoming airplane or cruise missile. If Russia takes steps to stop potential future missile attacks in Syria, it's unlikely to stop every incoming Tomahawk, but it has the technology to at least slow a U.S. assault. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Washington.
You know what I'm saying? We are creeping into where these nations are going to have to start really coming at each other in order to truly make influence, because economically it's going down. All right. Now, this is another article. It says people are dancing in the streets. Syria, Russia, Iran shrug off Trump's airstrikes. It says, sure, over 100 cruise missiles were fired on Saturday morning local time at 3 mostly empty military installations, including 1 research and 2 storage facilities, in airstrikes that last no more than 70 minutes. It says Syrian air defenses may or may not have intercepted many, if not a majority. It says may or may not have intercepted many, if not a majority of the launched missiles. And Trump got to wave his mission accomplished flag on Twitter. But did anything change? Hell no, man. The spirit is still going to have this place just continue on and doing what it's got to do. Okay? Meanwhile, in the capital Damascus, there was defiance and relief as residents jolted awake by explosions around 4 a.m. realized the strikes will be limited. Syrian state television broadcast scenes of citizens taken to the streets to celebrate and demonstrate their support for Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, waving Syrian, Russian, and Iranian flags. So these nations ain't done, man. That ain't nothing but a flare-up, man. And it's going to continue going. Okay? Look at this. It says, this strike is only muscle flexing by Trump to show his power. She said, Assad's regime is much stronger now. We tell Trump, you can do nothing. Here we are celebrating to show that you are bankrupt, said a jubilant woman interview on state television. Okay? So, hey, man, that was just things getting started. These nations are rising up. These nations are really, really putting it together. Okay, I'm going to read this one article and get out of here. You know, I just wanted to make this point that, you know, this is a way that Russia has been a guard unto these nations by putting these anti-missile defense systems to protect their borders, man. Because back in the day, man, once Israel had got those aircrafts from United States, that aircraft was able to run through Egypt, do whatever they want to do, man. But now these nations have to, you know, they got to be smarter about how they move, because a direct confrontation can cause huge collateral damage on either side, man. You know, you got two apex predators in the jungle. They have to be mindful of how they engage each other, man, because taking a certain type of wound in the jungle could lead to your death. You can't just bump fly. It could be mortal wounds you sustain even though you take a W, you know? Now, this is on the national interest called, it's the section called The Buzz. It says, Russia's S-400 is a game changer in the Middle East, and America should worry. Saudi Arabia's agreement to purchase the S-400 anti-aircraft Triumph anti-missile system from Russia is a major blow to the United States and its European allies. The deal follows Turkey's $2.5 billion agreement to buy the S-400 and ongoing negotiations with Egypt for the S-400. Egypt already has the S-300 system, which can engage short and intermediate range ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, precision-guided weapons, strategic and tactical aircraft, as well as early warning and electronic warfare aircraft. Okay? It says, among other countries with the S-300 system are Greece, a NATO ally who got them from Cyprus when the Turks threatened Cyprus with war unless the country gave up its missiles. Thus, they were given to Greece to defuse a crisis with Turkey. There are other users of these systems. There is China, of course, also India, Ukraine, Venezuela, and NATO members Bulgaria, to name a few. But the S-400 is the real game changer. The reason is the multiple intercept missiles the S-400 system can fire. The S-400 supports 4 different missiles. The very long range 40 NSE series, okay, which can go 400 kilometers. The long range, the 48 in N6, 250 kilometers, and the M9M6E2. And short range 6E. By comparison, the U.S. Patriot system supports only one interceptor missile with a range of 96 kilometers. God damn. See how much more the S-400 outperforms? Because, the U.S. is planning on being on the attack, not the defense. That's that pride. It says, but there is more. The 9M96E2 is one of the jewels of the S-400 system. It flies at Mach 15, around 5,000 meters per second, or 18,500 kilometers per hour. It says it can engage targets as low as 5 meters off the ground, and it can maneuver pulling up to 20 Gs. It says a human can withstand no more than 9 Gs with special pressure suits and helmets for only a few seconds. So it can maneuver pulling up to 20 Gs. It is designed to knock out penetrating aircraft and missiles flying off the deck, or just move above ground and neutralize cruise missiles. It says Dr. Carlo Chop, one of the world's top aerospace experts, says the S-400 has optional acquisition radars designed to defeat modern stealth aircrafts such as the F-22 and the F-35. They work by operating multiple frequency bands, including both VHF and L bands that can see stealth projected fighters. Okay? And so if you want to get more nerdy and read about all these systems, you know, you can, but I'm going to skip down. It says, the S-400 also has capability against ballistic missiles, a feature that surely attracted Saudi Arabia's interest. How good is it against ballistic missiles? No one knows for sure. The Saudi decision to buy the S-400 is probably linked to Egypt's earlier purchase of the S-300 VM and desire to get the S-400. Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states probably paid for Egypt's weapons. The Russians have definitely made a breakthrough with sales of weapons to some NATO countries with uncertain futures in the bloc, i.e. Greece and Turkey. And strong, when we already know from the scriptures that Greece and Turkey is going to come against this place, man. The prophecies are going to come true, and we're seeing it line up. And strong U.S. client countries such as Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states such as the United Arab Emirates. One immediate new example, Russia says the United Arab Emirates is just months away from buying the formidable Su-35 multi-role fighter jet, the current queen of the Russian Air Force fighter fleet. So, hey, man, Russia is truly a guard unto these people, man. And we saw an example last night when the U.S. and UK and France engaged Syria, a Russian ally. A lot of these missiles were able to be deflected with old systems, with old anti-defense systems, man. Imagine when they roll up in there with a big dog shit where a missile come in and before the missile even get close, the anti-missile system is firing back, man. You know, at stupid speeds. You know, so hey, we in that time. We in a time of war. We ain't in a time of peace. We ain't in a time of these people making up. This is just a small escalation of something bigger and bigger and bigger that's on the plate of the Most High's prophecy, man. So, you know, I just wanted to bring that out, man. Lord willing, is that a fine man? Call halal, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua. Hey, man, double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Much peace, love, and salutations to you brothers out there pushing the word.